If a stone is thrown vertically upward from the surface of the moon with a velocity of 10 meters per second, its height in meters after t seconds is h, which is equal to 10t minus 0.83 t squared. In part A, we want to find out what is the velocity of the stone after 3 seconds. So again, we know that the height, h, is equal to 10t minus 0.83 t squared. And so in order to find the velocity of this function, we want to find the derivative of h with respect to t. So taking the derivative of this function, we get 10t becomes 10 minus 2 times 0.83 gives us 1.66t. So therefore there is our velocity function. And now we want to evaluate this velocity function after 3 seconds, so when t is equal to 3. So we're going to plug that into our function. So we have 10 minus 1.66 times 3, which doing the math there is going to give us 5.02 meters per second. Okay, now in part B it says, what is the velocity of the stone after it has risen 25 meters? Okay, so what that means is we have h, which is, this tells us that h is equal to 25. So when we write out our equation, h, which is equal to 10t minus 0.83 t squared, we're going to substitute h to be 25. So 25 is going to equal 10t minus 0.83 t squared. And so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to set this equal to 0. So we're going to bring everything on the left-hand side. So if we add 0.83 t squared, so we have 0.83 t squared, that's minus 10t, and that's plus 25. And then that's equal to 0. Okay. And so then what we want to do is, well, this can't be easily factored, so we're going to have to use the quadratic formula. Okay, so if we use the quadratic formula, that means that t is going to equal negative b, which is positive 10, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times 0.83 times 25, and that's all over 2 times 0.83. Well, then this gives us 10 plus or minus the square root of 17 all over 1.66, which gives us two approximations, 3.66 or 8.51. So what does this tell us? Well, what this tells us is that the value of time 1, when that's equal to 10 minus the square root of 17 over 1.66, corresponds to the time it takes for the stone to rise 25 meters. And then the value times 2, which is 10 plus the square root of 17 over 1.66. Corresponds to when the stone is 25 meters high on the way down. Okay, so what does this tell us? Well, that tells us thus that V of the value of T1, which is equal to 10 minus 1.66 times 10 minus the square root of 17 over 1.66 gives us the square root of 17, which is approximately 4.12 meters per second.